So we start with a sample part
तबाह कर दिया
of this
सबने
one.
मफाद की खातिर। मेरे वतन तुझे इमरान की जरूरत है।
क्या हम कोई गुलाम है कि जो आप कहेंगे हम कर ले?
जो भी कुछ कहेगा कोई क्यों वो मान लेंगे हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं, हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं। एक रब को मानते हैं, उस नबी के उम्मती है, खास है कोई आम तो नहीं, हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं। सबने मफाद की खातिर, मेरे वतन तुझे इमरान की जरूरत है।
क्या हम कोई गुलाम है कि जो आप कहेंगे हम कर ले?
जो भी कुछ कहेगा कोई क्यों वो मान लेंगे हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं, हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं। एक रब को मानते हैं, उस नबी के उम्मती है, खास है कोई आम तो नहीं, हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं।
Now that is one of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf anthems, campaign anthems. This is one of the more popular ones, but all of them are popular because of the theme is the same and the rendition, the artists and performers are different, but they're all dedicated. And these anthems are doing very well in raising awareness among the people. And as it says, this one particularly, the one that says, we are not anyone's gulam, we are not slaves of anyone. We shall not be doing as you tell us to do. We are not your gulams, your slaves. So that's contextually the theme that is being dominant in the program. Currently, Long March, but it has been doing the rounds even before the particular events that led to the regime change against Imran Khan's regime in May 2022. So the Haqiqi Azadi, the true independence, is the theme as well. That is the theme. And the manifesto for the truly free, Azad, independent country is, of course, based on the collections of the wisdom of Allama Iqbal, according to Imran Khan, and Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and based on the hadiths of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be on him. What I said to Imran Khan and the Tehreek-e-Insaf people is that statement by the member of the Pakistan Lahore Bar Association, who made the point, very short point at a seminar, that the real Pakistan was East Pakistan. So this is something that needs urgent consideration and recognition by Imran Khan and Chaudhry Fahd Hussain and others in the leading positions of the Tehreek-e-Insaf today. Because the movement for Haqiqi Azadi will not get anywhere. The movement will not get anywhere if the concept of Azadi is curtailed and cut off from the origin. And the origin of the Pakistan, concept of Pakistan, East Pakistan, has to be recognized. And it is long overdue. In the course of this particular edition of the Khoodeelaar television channel, we shall be trying to play bits of the music based on Kabi Nazrul Islam, the poet Bidruhi Nazrul Islam. And we shall do this one again.
तबाह कर दिया सबने मफाद की खातिर, मेरे वतन तुझे इमरान की जरूरत है।
क्या हम कोई गुलाम है कि जो आप कहेंगे हम कर ले?
जो भी कुछ कहेगा कोई क्यों वो मान लेंगे हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं, हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं। एक रब को मानते हैं, उस नबी के उम्मती है, पास है कोई आम तो नहीं, हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं, हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं। क्यों लगे ये बोलियां, क्या हम बिकाऊ माल है, जाग गई है कौम अब लोग बाकमाल है। क्यों लगे ये बोलियां, क्या हम बिकाऊ माल है, जाग गई है कौम अब लोग बाकमाल है। हुक्मरानी गैर की एब्सोल्यूट नॉट, खुशहाली कुछ देर की एब्सोल्यूट नॉट। जो भी हमसे टकराए उसको जान लेंगे हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं, हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं, हम कोई गुलाम तो नहीं।
So this is the Karar Oi Louho part. Devenge Shab Korjalo part. This is Nazrul Islam's.
Pepsi Max.
So coming
Maximum
after
taste,
their version.
no sugar.
This is the.
কারার ওই লৌহ কপাট ভেঙে ফেল কর রেলোপাট, রক্ত জমাট শিকল পূজার পাষাণ বেদী। কারার ওই লৌহ কপাট ভেঙে ফেল কর রেলোপাট, রক্ত জমাট শিকল পূজার পাষাণ বেদী। ওরে ও তরু নিশান, বাজা তোর প্রলয় বিষাণ, ধ্বংস নিশান প্রাচীর প্রাচীর ভেদী। ওরে ও তরু নিশান, বাজা তোর প্রলয় নিশান, ধ্বংস নিশান প্রাচীর প্রাচীর ভেদী। কারার ওই লৌহ কপাট ভেঙে ফেল কর রেলোপাট, রক্ত জমাট শিকল পূজার পাষাণ বেদী। গাজনের বাজনা বাজা, কে মালিক কে সে রাজা। গাজনের বাজনা বাজা, কে মালিক কে সে রাজা। কে দেয় সাজা মুক্ত স্বাধীন সত্য কেড়ে, কে দেয় সাজা মুক্ত স্বাধীন সত্য কেড়ে। তাই যে হাসি ভগবান বলবে ফাঁসি, সর্বনাশী শিখায় এহীন তত্ত্ব কেড়ে। কারার ওই লৌহ কপাট ভেঙে ফেল কর রেলোপাট, রক্ত জমাট শিকল পূজার পাষাণ বেদী।
Depending on what happens with the actual video circulation, if there is an obstruction based on any possible copyright or whatever, we are not doing a commercial inclusion, we are just doing a reference. So depending on how this goes, we shall be including other videos and records, and we shall expand. the production, range of the production. Now, this is Khoodeelaar television channel broadcasting on the internet. It's the Baby Angel Geronimo editions framework. The Baby Angel Geronimo can be seen on the top left of me as I'm looking at the camera, and if the viewer is looking at the vision is on the top right. This is Baby Angel Geronimo, one of his pictures taken in his home in South Gloucestershire. And Baby Angel Geronimo is the ultimate, the world's best and most innocent witness to the world's worst behaving individuals operating under the influence of Satan, as decided by the creator, the God, who ordered Satan to bow to human beings. And Satan said that he would not bow to human beings because they were inferior to him. So there was this option given to him that he could mislead as many people as possible, but God was confident that more people would follow him than would follow Satan. That is, God would be followed by many more people than Satan would have as followers. So the impersonation and the personification, both impersonation and personification of Satan, has been taking place right from the beginning, since the conversation, if you like, since the creation. And in our time, in the UK, for example, the Satan personified is, of course, Boris Johnson. And his co-Satan personified include the likes of Cruella, Evila, Suella. And Suella, Evila, Cruella imitates Katie Hopkins. Katie Hopkins is the worst known hate monger, inciter, Muslim hater, evil doer, evil thinker, evil spreader. So yesterday, that is Wednesday, the 9th of November, Rishi Sunak, the current incumbent in the post of Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, in the name of the United Kingdom, was forced to reluctantly use the word regret. That he had regretted having appointed Gavin Williamson to his cabinet, that is Rishi Sunak's cabinet. Now, Sunak was never going to do that. He was never going to express any regret whatsoever. But the political pressure on him, not by the Labour Party, the political pressure on him by Conservatives has become absolutely unbearable. So he let go of Gavin Williamson. But now there is the demand that this Gavin Williamson should be stripped of the gong that is called Sir. And it is only a matter of time, as we've been saying, before Evila, Suella, Cruella, Braverman, Ni Fernandez of Goan origin, currently installed in the post of the Home Secretary, that is Interior Minister, at the expense of the United Kingdom public. Expense of the United Kingdom public, the people in the United Kingdom. She has got two very evil outlets in Fleet Street. One is the Daily Express, left by the Canadian racist Beaverbrook, who had the Express Group, and the other, of course, the Daily Mail, operated by the Daily Mail Group, and its corrupt, criminal, selfish owner, Rodamia family. So both these Express and the Daily Mail today, Thursday, use the core word mob and the core concept of mob rule. Is saying that the police, they are saying, both the Daily Express and the Daily Mail are saying that the police are failing to stop mob rule in the public protest arena. Now that is wrong. Police are not failing at all. Remember where you heard this. You heard this again on the Khoodeelaar television channel. And this one is Baby Angel Geronimo Edition's Khoodeelaar television channel, part A, being broadcast timed as 21:55 hours GMT on Thursday, the 10th of November 2022. And I'm Muhammad Haque. I'm the editor, creator of this program and campaigns. And I have been campaigning and agitating morally, ethically, universally for the rights of humanity and human beings for decades. And I do not do this as part of a career. And I do not do this to appease any wrongdoer or to make compromises with any wrongdoer, either privately or otherwise. And I have written extensively, and I write extensively, although currently my writing output is comparatively, if you like, contextually, temporarily impaired because of the particular medical situation that I am going through. But otherwise, I am doing the same thing consistently. Now, I think, the definitive translator into English of the rebel poet Qazi Nazrul Islam. Now, about 4 weeks ago, I was doing a live kind of translation of the poem Bidruhi, the rebel, when somebody in the neighborhood, one of the neighboring residents, kind of complained, and I had to stop it. And I had to tell her off. But telling her off has not done the kind of repair, because I really want the spontaneous independence to be able to spontaneously translate Nazrul Islam's poetry as on live air. I shall continue to look for ways to do that as soon as possible. And I said to Imran Khan again in context that Nazrul Islam, not only is he important, of course he's important, that goes without any saying, but Nazrul Islam is more important in the context of the discussion that Imran Khan is having. More important, absolutely 1,000 times more important than Imran Khan has shown Allama Iqbal to have been. Iqbal is important, of course, no doubt. But Nazrul Islam is a saint. Iqbal was never a saint, and he would never expect or allow anything like that to be attached to his personality or character or legacy. Nazrul Islam's extensive spiritual, moral, ethical writing encompass all the areas, all the points of spirituality, and is a saint. Now that one, Kararei Louho Kopart, Devenge Shop Korrelu Part. Now this is not something that you can find in poems. You search what is supposedly called Shakespeare, and you won't find anything like that. William Keats, Keats lived for a very short period. and is given credit for all kinds of revolutionary English poems. Keats came nowhere near what Kabi Nazrul Islam, the poet Nazrul Islam, the rebel poet, achieved, despite the fact that he became unwell too early. So he stayed unwell for almost 40 years before he passed away in 1976. Nazrul Islam and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman successively shared the same kind of doctrine in Bangladesh that I had shared before Bangladesh became Bangladesh, let's say. We became Professor Nurul Islam. But when he was plain Nurul Islam, he was my doctor when I was undergoing treatment during 27th of October 1971 until I became aware that I had been unconscious for any number of days because of my illness. And by the time I realized that who was my doctor, etc., the place had been completely abandoned and everyone had left. Everyone, literally. And the woman who nursed me, there were two women who nursed me. One was called Husna Ara Begum. Husna Ara. I think Husna Ara came from Dinazpur. And I promised to go to Silot as soon as I could physically do that and bring oranges for her as a gift. When I came back to the place, which was supposed to be the hospital, which was the postgraduate hospital, there was no sign of Husnara. Nobody knew where she was. Now, Husnara would have been in her 20s at that time. And this is now 50 years later. Is she alive? I don't know. If she's alive, would somebody tell her about this broadcast and find a way to contact me? I would like to arrange for a gift of oranges for Husnara and to thank her for the care she provided. Very short period, but she did. She actually brought to me home-cooked curry from her house somewhere in Dhaka. I don't know where it was, because the hospital was not in a fit condition. And I am grateful for Husnara for looking after me and trying to look after as much as possible, as well as possible. There was another nurse who was from Maulvi Bazar in Silot, but I don't remember her name. But she was the one that started looking after me before Husnara came into the scene. So going back to Nazrul Islam was a saint. And the other thing is that he was kind of at the frontest possible line, at the absolute front line. He was imprisoned by the British. He was not an armchair philosopher like Iqbal. He was actually put in prison because the British imperialists could not tolerate an absolutely lively, people-savvy, absolutely in touch, revolutionary, populist poet of his caliber to be free. As Subhash Bose, one of my kind of, if you like, comrades, leaders, is Subhash Bose, of course. Nazrul is one of my teachers, but Subhash Bose is one of my leaders. And Subhash Bose considered Nazrul Islam as one of his leaders, I'm sure, because he said that manushta janto manush. Nazrul Islam is janto manush, he said. So these are the people that Imran Khan should actually include. Even Subhash Bose, he should include in the perspective of Haqiqi Azadi. Because Subhash Bose did his best to unite the people subjugated by the imperialists. Of course, for that reason, though he was sabotaged, he was defamed, demonized. But he has not been demonized for the people, because Subhash Bose is rightly recognized and respected for his role. Now, going back to this stupid, brainwashed moron, Suella Cruella Ibila, Fernandez, saying, as the Daily Mail is interpreting her, fight crime, stop debating gender. Now, the police, as I was saying before, but I have not finished that particular paragraph. There is no police in this country. That's the whole point. So, Rishi Sunak, in his first Prime Minister's questions session, claimed that any number of police, 15,000 or 20,000, I'll check that one, but he said thousands of police would be recruited by his regime and they would be fighting crime. Of course, Rishi Sunak is an idiot. He's an idiot, ignorant, idiotic, out of touch completely. Even if the police have the numbers, increased numbers, they are not fighting criminals and crime. They are the criminals in the main. That is the thing. Think about that. So, it says, time to end ecological mob rule. Police are told. Fuck the Daily Mail. The police are not in existence. They don't exist as police. And then the Daily Express says, Suella attacks police for failing to stop ecological mob. Police don't exist. Get that, you fucking morons. Police don't exist. Now, there is this thing about the nurses going on strike for the first time in more than 100 years. I mean, why should it matter whether it is 116 years or 110 years or 105 years or whatever? The fact that they are going on strike is just about marginally significant in news terms. The fact that they are going on strike is not important either. What is important is that the criminals that have always opposed the National Health Service or have always opposed the idea of a National Health Service are destroying the National Health Service as it was intended to be. And this has been going on right from the beginning of the time when the National Health Service was inaugurated. That is the thing. And why have they been doing that? Because this time says nurses to strike within weeks. I mean, again, this is not the significant thing. And then they say in the subheading, cancer treatment and children's care at risk from NHS winter walkouts. I mean, whatever the number of people, cancer patients and children's affected by the walkouts, whatever the number is nothing when compared with the actual day-to-day, daily denial and betrayal of the treatments and care of the absolutely millions of people. Tackle that one. And I'm saying that all these newspaper headlines are absolute lies, ignorant. And there is the glimmer of evidence that the liars sometimes do get called out and completely exposed as the parasite criminal Donald Trump has found out. The midterm adventures that he indulged in across the USA has ended, according to most reports so far, him having not got anywhere. And as a result, he then embarked on attacking everyone around him, including poor Melania herself. If you look at Melania, her body language, facial expressions when she has the face, because she mostly keeps it covered with the glasses. If you look at her, Melania is not a happy person, is she? But then she is trapped in the trap of greed. I mean, Donald Trump must have promised her the whole earth. Of course, as a fraudster who doesn't really own anything, he can promise anything to her. And if the prosecution actually is allowed to go through the whole length, the prosecutions that have already been lined up against the criminal, Trump, since the 6th of January 2021 riot on the Capitol. Capitol is a word distinguished by capital or from capital. The capital is one word, means one thing. But the word Capitol refers to the center of the political kind of activities or a kind of parliament. That is the point to make. So after that Capitol attack, even Ivana, Donald Trump's very emotionally kind of linked daughter, even Ivana has not been seen. So the Trump is now so completely discredited the criminal that if he had any sense, if he had any brains, he would not be speaking at all about getting into the White House again. For a start, there is no way that he could get into the White House again. And secondly, the very idea that he is trying to sabotage, he's trying to sabotage the Republican Party. He's trying to sabotage the Republican Party on the basis of what he believes, or he has believed since 1980s, that the Republican Party is full of morons and shits. The fact that he has not got the support of the Republican Party candidates and the movement, it cannot do any damage to the reputation of his victims, if you like. Because May 2010, and Donald Trump has absolutely no appeal politically. And this stands solidly to be the case, even when taking into account, truthfully, the fragile state of Joe Biden's health and competence. But it would appear that the people, when they will cast the votes on the presidential poll, one of the nurses is quoted in the Daily Mirror of Thursday, the 9th of 10th of November. Anger and now action. Now, one of the nurses under that main banner heading is quoted as saying, "We are asking the patients for baked beans." Anyone who knows the internal organization of hospitals in this country would know that cannot work. I mean, asking patients to bring any food, etc., is very controversial and very much frowned upon by the nurses and the staff. So that is a distorted headline. And I think the Daily Mirror would say that distortion is justified in the context of getting across the facts of how bad the government's behavior has been and is towards nurses. Because it's starving nurses, forcing to states of starvation and famine in the United Kingdom. Now, was it yesterday, Wednesday, there was a piece that was carried in the features section of the daily Boris Johnson graph owned by the Barclays. Now there is only one Barclay alive. There may be a nephew Barclay alive, but the main Barclay is only one Barclay alive. And I would say that it is because of the Elijah Barclay There was a piece in the Telegraph by this most corrupt, evil, racist, stupid woman called Alison Pearson. Alison Pearson, in that piece, was rhetorically praising Evila, Suella, Cruella, Braverman, because the Suella was telling the truth, as nobody else is supposedly allowed to tell the truth, because she was saying in that piece, Evila Suella, that she's not ready to return to number 10 Downing Street and is not ready to undergo the treatment. That was some hours earlier. We shall be going back and completing this broadcast in due course. This one is coming to an end, this particular one, 41 minutes later, at 22:42 hours GMT. We shall complete the outstanding items on overdue. Are overdue as the